And now, moving down to the last quarter, the Carlos Alcaraz quarter. Defending champion from last year, Alcaraz is rightfully the favorite to win Roland Garros this year. Looking at Carlitos' draw, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't make it out of this quarter. He has an interesting second round matchup against Fabian Marjan, who had that iconic upset over Alcaraz in Rome a few years ago. But the way Carlos has been looking this year on clay, with 2 Masters 1000s titles, I don't see any realistic upset potential there. And then in the round of 16, he's looking at most likely Ben Shelton or Stefanos Tsitsipas. I was a little surprised Stefanos didn't play Hamburg or Geneva to try to get some form and regain some points that he lost this clay season. And I actually think that Ben Shelton could give Steph some trouble if they play in the third round. With that huge lefty serve, attacking that one-handed backhand, Shelton will not be an easy out if he faces Tsitsipas in the third round. But whoever wins that matchup, most likely Steph, I think they just get annihilated by Alcaraz. Steph has been dominated by Carlos his entire career, and I don't think anything changes here with how poor form Steph has looked. And now moving to the other side of the quarter for who Alcaraz would play in the quarterfinal. We have the 7 seed Casper Ruud, first time 1000 champion in Madrid, and also 12 seed American Tommy Paul, who took a set off Jannik Sinner in Rome. I don't see many noticeable storylines for this part of the draw, but I would love if we get a round of 16 matchup between the seeds Casper Ruud and Tommy Paul. Tommy is underrated on clay. He has the foot speed and the defensive capabilities to excel on the surface. And as we saw recently against Sinner, Paul actually has that ability to take the ball early and take time away from his opponent. Based off experience and Casper's recent success in Roland Garros, it would be hard to not pick him in a hard-fought battle over Tommy Paul. But I think Paul would have a really good shot to beat Casper. He showed he can take the ball early and play aggressive against a guy like Sinner. If he brings that style against Casper, takes time away from him, flattens the ball out, he would have a real shot to overcome Casper and meet Carlos in the quarterfinals. So I am going to go with Casper to take down Tommy Paul and make the quarterfinals and get another shot at Carlos. If we get that quarterfinal matchup, everybody is going to predict Alcaraz to slaughter Ruud, especially after seeing Ruud get absolutely slaughtered by Sinner, 6-0 and 6-1 in Rome. I think Ruud matches up a little bit better against Carlos than he does against Jannik. And honestly, Jannik just played an incredible match that day. I think Ruud could put up a test against Carlos, but I am going to go Carlos in 4 in that matchup. Maybe even 3, because Carlos just has that extra gear and that added variety that Casper doesn't have. And if Carlos is playing even close to his best game, he can take out Casper, which would set up a rematch of the Monte Carlo final in the semifinals with Lorenzo Musetti taking on Carlos Alcaraz. And man, would I love to see Lorenzo get that shot against Alcaraz. My one-hander heart, of course, wants to pick Musetti to take out Alcaraz in the semifinals. I would be the happiest guy in the world. I'm probably going to take him if that matchup does come, just to take that risk. But I think Carlos has shown time and time again, with his elite athleticism on defense, his absolute ripper of a forehand to dictate points offensively, he is the best player on clay in the world. Barring some physical or mental collapse, this is Carlos Alcaraz's Roland Garros to lose. I actually think he makes the finals over Musetti, and honestly, he's probably going to win the whole thing and defend his championship last year. Carlos is my pick to get Grand Slam number 5 and win Roland Garros this year. I would love if it's him and Sinner in the finals, where we finally get to see the 2 best players in the world play each other again, because that is what tennis fans deserve. We were robbed of watching Sinner play for 3 months, but now we get a repeat of the Rome final, Jannik Sinner versus Carlos Alcaraz. Must-watch television in the finals, where I'm going to pick Carlos to take out Jannik, unfortunately, in a 5-set thriller. And we get an absolute classic match, where I'm going to be watching this on YouTube for years and years to come. But I do think Carlos wins Roland Garros this year and proves that he is the best player on clay.